Got it. The host has enabled local recording. Oh, okay. Let me just
Welcome to the Code Talk Evening Show.
Oh shit!
Oh my God, it's like you don't you don't get it, do you, Antoine? You just do what you want to do, huh? Like, you just do what you want to do, huh?
So sorry, man.
Welcome to the Code Talk Evening Show. I'm your host, Victor Vincian, and alongside me, I have the other artist, Antoine Christopher. Situation awareness, 0. Okay. But today's show is about should single mothers date?
Whoa.
So I had this question inboxed to me, and it was asked very directly. And if they can date, as they should date, when do they start dating? So I figured, since you're already in the process of reconfiguring, what your vetting criteria is. I know you got some very specific and unique criteria for yourself as to what it would take for you to date someone that had kids, right?
Yeah.
So
I just opened up. I could say I just entertained.
It's open enrollment. It's open enrollment for Antoine season
I just entertained the thought.
Yeah. Yeah. So like now that you get ready to enter stepdaddy season, you know what I'm saying? Like what kind of criteria does Antoine need for him to be, part of the stepdaddy tribe?
I think the main one is the guy would have to either be dead or totally out of the picture.
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here.
He can't be in jail. I'm gonna vet him more than I vet her.
Mm-hmm.
I think most women should do that too.
Yeah, that's kind of it too.
I don't want jealousy and anybody coming after me.
I understand that.
This isn't the movies where the cops show up at the end and save the day.
Yeah. In the middle of it, right?
Right. Just as he's about to shoot me, they break through the door. So my main thing is to make sure that I vet the situation very, very closely. And this is a very sensitive topic, right? This is a very sensitive topic for me, because I'm going to vet her as to why she decided to have a baby out of wedlock. Like, what was the excuse? What was the reason? And I know it's a very sensitive topic for women today. And I know for baby mamas, it's hard out there to date. It is, right? It's easy for them to get smashed, but it's hard to date and find one that you can lock down and call him your own. Because, you're asking him to, especially a well-to-do man, you're asking him to give up a lot. And I wouldn't say give up a lot, but you're asking him, actually give up a lot. And you're asking him to make a major sacrifice in his life. And time is money that he'll never get back. And we all know there's really no benefit. If the relationship doesn't work, you just take the child, and I formed a bond with that child. And now, there's a sad part of me saying, damn, what if, I don't think, and for women too, they have to vet the guy so good they're going to be with, which most don't. Or else you wouldn't have the stats that you have. But Um, I think they need to vet the man the most, especially if they have a kid, because and don't give up the cookie so damn easy. God damn, you guys give it up so easy as baby mamas. Jesus Christmas, don't. Um, Vet the man real good. See if he's worthy of your time. Well, I won't say worthy of time. Take that back. See if he's a good man, and it's a lifestyle that he's choosing, and he wants to be in your life like that. Because you're thinking for two, you're not thinking for one. And I think you should not have to try to convince the man to accept your child. It's a matter of if he wants to or not. And if he has to think about it, just move on. You're not going to change his mind. And if you do change his mind, it's only because he wants to sleep with you. You know, that's how I see it. Because it's hard out there. It's hard out there. It's hard out there
Yeah.
being a single man. It's hard out there being a single man and dating.
Yeah. What if, like, what's the life like as being a single man and dating for you?
It's horrible. I mean, it's horrible because sometimes you don't feel like doing it, and you're like, okay, but then again, you don't want to stay home because you've already worked out, you've already worked, you've already had dinner, you've already had your cognac. If you're into a cigar, you already had that. Your boys are all revved up, and it's just a matter of what are you gonna do at home. There's only so many. I'm not a TV guy. Um, you watch one movie, you're still awake. 1 o'clock, you're still awake. Um, so that being said, I don't. That being said, no one wants. I don't care. Man wasn't designed to be alone. I don't think. And when I say man, I'm including men and women. We weren't designed to be alone.
You just
I
talking
think
about the
everybody.
species.
Yeah, the species of man was not designed to be alone. That's why we can think, smell, taste, touch. It needs to be shared or expressed. And the ones that are introverts, well, they're the homeliest looking ones anyway. So you don't want to be with them anyways.
Oh, okay.
You know.
So, got a question on the screen. I'm about to pull it up in a second. Let's see. So I
I
want to
don't
know.
see this question.
There you go, right there.
Where is the dude on the right from Trinidad?
Yep. Yeah. So I hope that answers the question. Antoine is from Trinidad. You want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
What do they want? Anybody can ask me. I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, I'm from
Yeah, yeah.
Trinidad.
What do y'all want to know? Y'all ask Antoine some questions, man, today. You know what I'm saying?
Well, much to know.
It
I got my
ain't
head.
much
I
to know.
got my head on my shoulders. I know that.
Yeah.
And I'm smart and I'm articulate. I know how to use a knife and fork. I conduct myself properly, and I know how to put myself in the right situations.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you off the nutshell. But ask away. I got nothing to hide. Ain't nothing no
Mhm.
secret here.
Yeah. So what's some other considerations? What about ages of the kids?
I don't really look at the ages of the kids because I want kids, so I know she has to be childbearing age. She has to be able to have childbearing age, and I know that went up recently, even though geriatric begins at 35, I think. Um, it all depends on what you're going into the relationship with a baby mama. If you're going into a relationship um, with one, you have to ask why are you going into this relationship with her? Is she young enough to? Is she young enough to have the lifestyle that you would like to provide for her? Is she young enough to like what is the reason you're dating her? Because there's a lot of younger, hotter, fresher ones out there without any kids. So you have to see where you're at in life, where she's at, and why you're dating her. I think that's the most important thing. You can't just because I contrary to what's out there on social media, you have to be gentle with baby mamas. You can't treat them like you would treat a woman that's single running the streets. And when I say running the streets, as in out there dating, you can't treat them like that. They have to be vetted a little bit more differently. And I even would say, if they're a good one, if they're a good woman with a child, they have to be respected a little bit more because they've been through something compared to the ones that's wild and doesn't know left from right. That's how I would see it. At least that's the respect I give them. What they
So
do wrong, is they give it up too easy. I mean, everybody knows it's like shooting fish in a barrel when it comes to them. But
What do you think uh the difference is? Number one, do you believe there's a difference between a divorcee with kids than a single mother?
I would respect a woman that's divorced with kids more. I would definitely respect, and I generally speaking, you know what? I gotta separate that. Men that got their shit together would respect a woman more that went through a divorce and had kids than men that on a lower tax bracket don't respect themselves, don't have their shit together. They'll take anything. And meaning, and when I say anything, not that they're a lower species, it's just that they don't have the criteria that we put on it. We don't. We want a certain image, I think, because we want to look. They technically we want a good side piece. We want somebody that's been vetted, someone that won't embarrass us, um, and it matters to us because we know the questions people will ask. I
Yeah,
feel, you know, it's more of a professional um, way of being with a woman with a child. You really, I think they deserve a bit. They deserve more respect because they're thinking for two, and they got a lot more to lose than the average woman that's single with no kids. That's how I believe it. That whole what's on social media shit. I don't look at it like that. I don't see it like that.
hmm.
But like I said, a woman that's well respected.
So there there is a difference in your opinion then.
Clear
Um,
difference.
yeah, yeah, like I can respect that. You
Clear difference.
know,
They're more mature. They've been through a lot. Now I'm talking
if I
like I said, I'm talking about the baby mamas that have respected themselves. They made a genuine mistake. They made, and when I say mistake, as in they over trusted the man and decided to have his child. I'm talking the ones that have their stuff
the
together,
ones that's really just been deceived and
been deceived.
yeah,
The ones
yeah,
that have been deceived, the one that really did do the vetting, but they just were betrayed. I'm talking
yeah,
about those ones.
because like it's not all one person's fault
Mm-mm.
um every time. It's not a like yeah, and
And
there's
that's the
some
sad thing out there.
yeah,
That's the
you
sad
know,
thing that people think it's always the woman's
if
fault.
you know if she had like I look at it like this, everything that you would make a consideration on is relative to the fact that they have to have a certain level of discipline.
Yeah,
That discipline, like the pattern of somebody's behavior, will tell you if they were the problem in their previous
right.
situation. So I agree with you when you said like vetting because nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Listen, a
Situations
child's a
ain't
blessing.
perfect.
I always believe a child's a blessing. There's nothing. This child. It's not the child's fault. The child is a blessing. I'm not saying. I'm not ill. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the child part. The decision you made to have the child is the issue. But if, like I said, you genuinely made a mistake and you're copping up to it and you're honest about it. You're not throwing the excuses about it. You're saying, you know
Let me
what?
put you up here. Hang on. Let me let you go ahead and break it down. So you can give me the exceptions. You know what I'm saying? That qualify. You know what I'm saying? Women with kids for your attention.
Well, I'm going to generally speak in my circle, right? I have no problem, no problem. I mean, only now I would say recently I'm even entertaining the thought of a baby mama. I'm only now at my age, right? Because I put a cutoff point for me. But if that woman has a child, she should disclose everything about that child. But most of all, she should disclose everything honestly about the man she had the child for, right? She has to come clean on that because any hiccup that he finds later on that you didn't tell him, well, he already knows you're able to deceive him for your child, and you're more desperate than you come across, right? Okay, that's one. I think that a woman with a child, she has to look like she doesn't have one. And when I say that, she has to keep herself uptight, up clean. She has to look like she doesn't have a child. She has to look like the freshest thing that's walking the streets. Why? Because that's what men look for in a woman. And when they look like you've been beaten down, you struggle, trying to make ends meet. You're taking care of your child, but at the same time you're trying to have a single life. That's what beats a woman down, because she's putting her priorities in the wrong place, right? So she's trying to live two lives, and you can't live two lives. You can't keep up with the Joneses and at the same time eat macaroni and cheese. It doesn't
And
work.
serve two masters.
You can't. You can't. So she has to look like she is maintaining everything. And when she says, "Listen, I got a Friday night at 4 o'clock. I can only do dinner, and I got to be back at 8." That shows responsibility. That you're saying, "Listen, I like being with you, but I got to get there for my child. You're great and all. I love you. Hope it works out, but he is my priority, and I'm not gonna hustle, lose sleep, staying out late with you, and then have to drive him, wake up early to look like a mess to drive him to school. And then from that school, I got to go to my work." And I think these are the things that men look for, and I'm talking about, like I said, well-to-do men look for, because if you're able to balance things out and still look that good, and yes, it all boils down to looks, ladies. That's all we care about in the beginning, because what comes out of your mouth determines if we will stay. Okay, your looks get us over there. What comes out of your mouth and how you conduct yourself determines if we will stay. And that's a fact. I don't know if you guys think differently. That's a fact.
No, yeah, I don't think you're wrong with that, because, like, as far as the last sentence is concerned, because I always say, you know how, like, they bring up like, what's your, like, if I asked you what hypergamy was, how would you explain it?
Hypergamy for me is a woman that likes the finer things in life, but she can't afford them.
Okay. What is so the popular social media definition is that hypergamy describes somebody that wants someone doing better than them in some kind of
Right,
way.
right.
Okay.
First of all, I think a woman should want a man doing better than her. I agree with
So
that
what do you think? Okay, so if women are hypergamous to men based on resources and lifestyle, right?
part. Right.
What are men hypergamous to?
Youth, beauty, and fertility.
That's all right. You know, I like that, because that's important. Because the things that we want are the things that we're hypergamous to.
Right. Exactly.
You agree with that statement, then, right?
100%. I'm not going to say
So,
it any different.
because you mentioned respect earlier, right?
Hmm.
Men are hypergamous to respect.
Hmm. Women need to understand. It's not hard. Women need to understand. You want a man to lead, yet you have to be willing to be led. There is no argument or discussion in between that. If you're going to put an argument or discussion in between that, it's best you not find a man that's firm in his ways to lead, because he doesn't need you. There's younger, hotter, fresher, more women out there than you. And he will find it based on his resources, based on his lifestyle. He'll always come across. We will always get laid as men. I know that they say there's a percentage, a low percentage of how men, men that are sexually active. I'm not doubting the statistics, but we're talking about the men that got their shit together. It ain't hard. That's not a hard thing. You come across that all the time. It's easy. And it's true because you got game. I'm not saying I'm that kind of guy and I'm some Adonis, but it's not really something you have to kind of dig a hole and try to get into. And it's not like shooting fish in a barrel, but if you carry yourself well, speak well, eventually you get the hook.
Yeah. So, you know, how would you handle a situation where, um, like, there's a behavior issue with the kid? Let's say you get the relationship you want based on the criteria that we discussed in the day, and then you get down the line, and you got to have a moment where you really got to step in and do the fatherly duties that come with it, right?
Right. Well,
How do you?
by then, Vic, the woman's gonna know how I was raised, right? She's gonna know my background and how I came up, and I will have that discussion with her, like say, listen, I'm gonna have to discipline your kid. You know, I'm not gonna raise him the way I was raised. Goddamn, whew, that would be brutal in today's world. But and I mean that in a good way, because my father did good, real good. But she would have to know her place to step back because you're coming into my life, right? And I'm accepting you with another. I'm not getting the full 100% you. And don't think for 1 second I will not know in my life you're capable of choosing your kid over me. That will never change, and nor should it. That should never change, nor should it. He's your kid. He's not our kid. So I know I'm taking a back burner. Worst push comes to shove. And if you don't push me aside for your kid, you're a bad parent.
Mm. You
You're a
heard the
bad
difference.
parent. Because if I had a daughter or a son, you will never come before them. You will exist with them. Right? And that's the way I think it should be, because I need to be there for my child, right? That was there before you. And I am grateful that you're in my life. But I can tell you this, my child will know never to disrespect you, because if he disrespect you, I'm giving you full reign to whoop his ass. But it's better be legit. It better be legit. Better be 100% legit. It better not be, oh, he foul mouthed me and I gave him a backhand. Well, did you foul mouth her? Yeah, I did call her that, yeah, well, then, better from her than me.
So when are you gonna start dating these women?
I don't know. I don't. I think I'm open to whatever comes my way. I'm not gonna be. I'm a little bit less judgmental. Like I said, social media. Remember, I told you before last show. I think I said that.
You've had like I've watched you just change. You know what I'm saying?
Watching social media I just took all that shit, all that ratchet shit off, all that baby mama ratchet shit. Who's dating what high value men? Ain't nobody high value out there. Fucking it's 1% of men. You ain't high value.
Yeah,
you ain't high value. You're just a man that makes a good salary, taking care of your own.
I think value, like everybody's high value to somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's just it. But
high value man to me. I know the late Kevin Samuels who broke it down in certain things. And it all boils down to what? Money. That's all it is. It's not anything beyond money. And even though he says it is, because it's negotiating with your peers, are you recognized by your peers? All that shit that still deals with money.
Yeah, he was talking about a specific demographic of men.
Yeah.
And everybody tried to keep making it about a demographic of men that's really blue collar. He was talking about corporate guys that appreciate their privacy and then don't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
And how difficult it is, you know what I'm saying, to find somebody in that same space. That's why they was already seeking him out.
Right.
And they don't want competitors. They want compliments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They want people as compliments in their life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was speaking to a whole demographic of people that a lot of people put themselves in that same category.
And they're not.
And they're not.
They're not. I mean,
and I get it. I get it. Hey, what's up, Sydney? I appreciate you coming to the show.
When somebody says to me they want to lead, sorry, I shouldn't have cut you off. My bad.
No, you good. You good.
And you talk. When somebody says to me, like a man should lead the relationship, I always ask them, "What do you mean lead? Give me a breakdown of that." Usually, well, it's like she's my woman, she follows my lead, and she takes her place. She knows her place. I pay for the majority of the bills and all. Not for anything. That's called being a man with a woman. There ain't nothing special in that.
I think what you're saying right there too is, I think a lot of people overinflate their basic obligation and duties in a relationship, and I think that's great that you touched on that point, because some men think about just paying for the relationship is enough, but leading is really about providing guidance, about like sitting down and being able to say, like when we go backstage and we talk about what we're going to talk about for the next show,
right?
That's me saying, hey, like when I say, hey, look, we're not getting off of this chat until we come up with a topic for next week,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's taking the lead on stuff, like making the hard decisions, you know what I'm saying, that set everybody else up to win, putting other people before you. That's what leading is, you know what I'm saying? So I understand that there's a distinct difference, you know what I'm saying, in between the two, but what you're saying is what other people think is leading is a very limited view. Like providing and leading ain't the same thing.
Exactly. Like my father,
because there's plenty of providers that can't lead.
They can't lead. Like In the islands, all men lead. Rich or poor, they all lead, right? But you'll have an islander. We always hear what the woman has to say to make sure we're making the right decision. We'll take it into consideration for the family. All right.
Mhm.
Always he did that. My father never led the house. Never. The minute he walked into the house, that was all mom. All mom. From the time we ate, from the bills being paid, from the groceries in the fridge, from all this, that was all mom. Outside of the house, that was all him. But the
Yeah.
minute he crossed through that front door, that was all mom. And we knew
How
it
much,
too.
how much do you think, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think identity politics has played in the dissolution of gender roles? Because like
Ooh.
you just you just described, like you grew up in a very traditional
Yeah.
cultural type of household, and you lived in multiple places underneath the same roof with your mom and dad. Every place you moved to, it was, you know what I'm saying, his role and your mom's role. You don't know anything else, right?
Right.
Then when you come out of that and you're trying to date people, how much does your family dynamic help or hinder you? And how does that shape the way you attract to other people?
Well, this may call me a simp for a lot of men, even though I don't believe in that word. But I believe a woman is just as valued as a man, equally 50-50. And when I say that, the things that she does, you can't even come close. Her nurturing, you can't even come close. Stop it. You're not. The things that she does internally and how she's able to calm the storm, a man will never be able to do that. We're too damn violent, arrogant, stupid, and ego driven,
You
right?
think so?
100%. We are so in our freaking ego, it's not even funny as men. And it's true. Even the best of them. Because our ego is what keeps the family safe, right? But she's what keeps the family calm. My father never messed with making a house a home. He didn't even know what that was. She made it
Well,
a home.
and I hear what you're saying too, because I had to process it again, because you're speaking from what you observed in your
Right.
own household and growing up.
Yeah. A
You're not
solid
saying,
parent household for 70 years going. Yeah.
yeah.
70 years of marriage. Not no 25, 45, 70 years, two people growing old together. From the pan being thrown across the room, to the whoopings at night, to the to the slaps being thrown across the 70 years of marriage looks like that.
Yeah. That
You
that
know,
that is that's a different it's so rare now. So
and
like,
it's not only rare, they don't know. They can only talk about what they're going to be like in 50 years with the same woman.
yeah.
Okay, you talking, but you ain't lived yet. You can't even live with your girlfriend for 2 weeks. You can't even handle her at the time of the month. You don't even know what to do with yourself. That's what I'm
So
saying. It's a 50. I don't know what this I lead, you follow, and this whole submissive talk. If I was a woman and I heard the word "you're gonna be submissive," I'd be looking at him like, "Submissive who? You making the wrong decision and telling me what to do when I see you making a wrong decision? When I see you making a wrong decision, I'm supposed to be submissive and let you have the last word? No, idiot! I'm gonna tell you what it is. You're wrong.
so so in that scenario about the submission piece that you just brought up, right? What if it's something going on outside the house? Like you said that the man is responsible for
That's
what
all
takes
him.
place outside
That's all
okay.
him.
So
Use your
if
best judgment call and think about what your wife would say.
so you're talking about on the inside of the house, is that's where you lose the submission
Yeah.
conversation at?
Yep. Yep.
So basically just making the decisions within the scope of your duties and responsibilities in the relationship. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
as the provider, but the decisions of the family come as a whole with your opinion, her opinion. Sure, you may have the final say. You may have the final say, but the decisions of the family come from the parents, not from a parent. It comes from the
Mhm.
parents. Two people, honey, what do you think is the best outcome, or what do you think I should do? Do you think I should work another 10 hours overtime to pay this bill? Where do you think we should allocate the money? That's a two-parent thing. That's a two-person decision.
Let me give you your flowers, Antoine. Go ahead and read this. Read what's on the screen.
I'm really saying this. I agree. Oh shit! I thought you guys hated me over there, but okay, I'll take it.
Hey,
I'll take it.
hey,
I'll take
I
that
got,
little victory.
hey man, shout out to all the people that follow the content. You know what I'm saying on my channel, whatever. You know, I tell you, Antoine, you got a lot of people that like what you have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like in a minute now, you gonna piss them all off again.
I
But
know,
you
but hey,
know,
I'll take that little victory when I
hey,
get it.
take the one. Yeah, look, and they got another one right there. You know, boom. I
Hey,
partially
you know
agree.
what?
Hey,
I'm
that's
curious. I'm curious to this. What part don't you agree on? Not the part that you agree on, because I pretty much think I have that figured out. But I'm not sure what part don't you agree on. And be specific. Don't be I feel like, I think like. I want to know what part.
yeah.
All right?
Hey, Antoine wants to know what y'all agree with and what you don't agree with. You
Yeah,
know,
but be specific. Don't give me, well, I just don't like it. That's not being specific.
yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
I appreciate that. Um, I study other people's. Like I don't really watch anything anymore. I study it. Like when I now watch to see how people react to things, how they respond, and like really people read everything with their emotions. You could tell they reading it for a landmine event to take place. And so like because you could write one way, because that's my thing. It's like and you and I both share an artistic expression, right? You
yeah, we
paint,
are the same
people
in that
interpret,
area.
and people interpret whatever you do with your art, and they assume how you felt when you were what I'm saying, completing your project or whatever. And then they take from it whatever they take from it, right? And then they have what they feel. Like
Right,
interpret you interpret things off of emotion and expression, right?
right,
You translate based on what you understand.
right,
But how something makes you feel comes from in here. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah,
So, and I think that's the point of why, like, you have to talk. You have
right,
to have another conversation. You have to, what I'm saying, be able to have it publicly so you can see where your words are landing. Because I do know personally that you've worked to have a better communication of what you believe. And then beforehand, you probably was a lot more defensive than you ever have been. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Long time ago. But like now, you can just see it because you know what you want, and you know what I'm saying. Like, and you're adjustable. I got a lot of respect for you in that regard. It'd be different if you were still saying the same things now that you were saying 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying, and then being inflexible to new ideas.
Right. And I'll
But
even say this, Vic. The hardest thing for people to do is to put their feelings aside to make the right decision. That's the hardest thing
so
for people to do.
so check this out. Shout out to Sydney. She says, I don't want the decision making to be 50-50.
Sydney, a man or a woman?
No, this is a woman. She
Okay. Okay.
says, I want to be clearly led in decision making. In his decision, consider me. It goes hand in hand with trust and safety. She's saying, make the leadership call. Like I like this. This is what I prefer, because if I bring you into my life underneath my covering and stuff, like I didn't bring you here to start making decisions. I
Okay.
was gonna get what I was gonna get anyway. But I understand this too, though. You and I both are in different capacities right now, and you're willing. You want your relationship to be a 50-50 relationship. Is that correct?
Yeah, but that's
So
different
how
than
does
what
that, so how does that so how does leadership look in a 50-50
that's
relationship?
different. I'm going to explain it to her. I think she needs. I'm going to explain to her what I mean by the 50. She says I don't want
Okay,
to.
yeah,
I
you
don't
go
want
ahead.
to.
Go
I
ahead,
don't
break
want
down.
the decision making to be 50-50. I want to be clearly led in the decision making. In this decision, consider me. In his decision, consider me. It goes hand in hand with trust and safety. Okay, so let's put this scenario out there, and this is a true scenario, right? You have a child, and there's an operation that needs to be done on your child, right? The operation needs to be done on your child. But at the same time, it needs to be done on your child. There's got to be a sacrifice. The husband can make the decision to terminate the pregnancy and save your life. I mean, I'm sorry, terminate the pregnancy to save your life, or listen to what you want in your life and make the right decision based by what you say. What is he going to do? I don't know about you, but I'm telling you now, baby, I'm saving you. I'm not saving the child, because we can have another one. Right? And you're telling me, no, I want the child to live. You need to save the child. And I'm saying, no, I'm telling you right now. What do you do? What do you do? Make the decision for you. So you're asking me to kill you? Is that what you're telling me?
Man, come on. Look at Sydney. Look what she just
said. You're asking me?
Look, you want to go? You see that right there, Antoine? She said,
okay, but that's after the scenario I told you. I'm just saying that's what I'm talking about.
She agrees with you, Antoine.
Yeah. You see?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Look at go and get your flowers, man. Go and collect your flowers. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking. A man needs to consider. Yes, a man makes the final decision. We're not saying that. That's his job. But he has to make the final decision concern with his wife, so he can live with the outcome of his decision. Not here, you made the wrong decision, baby, and this is what happens later on down the line. No, we both agreed on the decision. I just made the final decision.
You have authority. Not
exactly.
This is about authority, control,
right,
management,
right. We both made the decision. It's just the final decision came out of my mouth. Yeah, but we both agreed. And whatever the outcome is, we're splitting it 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
That's clear. That's all I'm saying. You are a part of my life. I cannot make a decision without you. Yes, I can make the final decision, but this decision agreed upon came from both of us.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. You will, if you're willing to live and die with the consequences, then you have to own the decision that gets made.
There you go.
Yeah, like I'm a firm believer in not failing at somebody else's lack of merit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna fail, let me be the reason I fail.
Right.
Let me make the decision to take the loss if necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't want 50-50. You know, it's because, like, if you go 50-50 and you take a loss anyway in the same situation, then of course it's implied that both of y'all got full ownership of the problem. But ultimately, you got the burden of you got the burden. Like, everybody doesn't handle guilt the same way. Like, men and women don't carry guilt of success or failure the same way. We just don't. Like, like buyer's remorse looks different on people. And if you're gonna have full ownership and of the leadership capacity in a relationship, you got to be able to take the wins and the losses. You got to be prepared for the losses more than the wins.
Okay,
especially when they're outside of your control.
Okay, let me give you a real scenario, right? And it's going to be dealing with me, right?
Yeah, come on.
At my age, I'm doing well for myself, and I'm only hoping to get better, right? Any woman that comes into my life, any woman, no matter how fine she is, whatever I want, perfectly catered to me, has to understand one thing, and it's not even a second thought. And I'm gonna break this down for her to make sure she's totally understanding what I'm saying. If we have a kid, and that kid is diagnosed with any malfunction before it's born, and the doctor says, you want to terminate, we're terminating. Because I'm not willing, able, care to bring any kid into this world that's not 100%. Now, if he decides to have that kid, no problem. You lose me, but I will make sure that kid is perfectly provided for what you need. But you will never see me again. That's it. Now, is that a decision that we can make together, or do you think I should just make that on my own? Because she has to decide if that's what she wants. That's not on me anymore.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. We got somebody. No, I couldn't agree to
that. Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. That's
perfect. So it's not 50. So it's not me taking this. So it's not me making the decision. That's the way it's going to be, right? Because now it's making your decision, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not You see what I mean? It's not me anymore. It's a 50-50 thing. We have to agree on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I'm not
that.
going to be a
That's
selfish parent and bring some kid into this world drooling all over himself. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not visiting him in some mental institution all twisted up. I'm not doing it. I don't have
yeah.
nor would I challenge myself and say this whole God thing and have the guts to do it. I'm not doing that. God gonna have to take a back seat on this one. That's period.
You know what, Antoine? Would I be wrong in saying this, right? You got to be with a woman that will choose her husband over everything.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Because I'm
like, what's the
choosing her
point?
over everything.
Because like, what's the point of getting in a relationship with somebody that wouldn't choose you when you chose them?
I'm going in 100%. You even breathe in another man's direction, and it's over. It's over. There's no need for you to come back and try to explain yourself. We are done. I'd rather take the hit, shed my tears, work out hard and get over your ass, and move on.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not that hard. Am I
Yeah.
saying it's going to be easy? No. But no. That's why I don't believe in this whole men exercise their option bullshit. If your man sleeps with anything else besides you, that just tells me what type of woman you are. It doesn't tell me what, I already know he's that type of man, but that just tells me what type of woman you are, and you're an idiot. I'd rather take half his shit and leave. Fuck that.
Man, they tell you, choose the woman that likes you and not the one you like. And then because like men have a different access, they can date any woman they want to, similar to like attractive women can date any man that they want to, right? And
Yeah. Wait.
and then
No. A woman can't date any man they want. A woman could sleep with any man they want.
okay,
Those are two
you know,
different things.
yeah, okay. So
Two different things.
yeah, you hey, okay. Antoine with the clarity,
Just making it clear, man.
it's very I understand you got very specific clarity, you know what I'm saying, clarifying questions and statements, okay. What I was working towards is that the man on the opposite side of that scenario that we were just talking about, do you agree with that the man should choose the woman he wants or the woman that he likes?
I think you should choose the woman he needs.
What would you say qualifies needs for Antoine?
I'm not really, listen, as contrary to what people may think out there, which I really don't give a shit, I'm not really high on looks. And I'll tell you why. Gravity comes to us all, and you show me a beautiful woman, I'll show you a man tired of fucking her. Period. So your looks is not gonna keep. You better capture my heart, because that lasts a lot longer than my looks. Right? That lasts a lot longer than your looks. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? There's only so many size tits you can get to enjoy in life. And if you had it already, you ain't bringing nothing new. So you better capture my heart, because that's what's gonna keep me there. Now, I'm like, there's something I always say to myself. I will always look at my wife with the eyes that I fell in love with her. Meaning her beauty ain't going, I'm not even looking at her face anymore and the wrinkles. I just know from day one, that's how pretty she is, because that's all I see in her, right? That's what lasts a lot longer than your looks. So you can do whatever you want. You can do with all the facelifts. You can do all that sort of crap. At the end of all those facelifts, you ain't looking like the woman I fell in love with anyways.
So you're not prioritizing beauty then at all?
No. I at my age, where I have a good head on my shoulders, I don't need her money, but I'll take it. I'll do my thing and I'll live my life, but I need to be able to come home to her as a person, not come home to her as a sexual object, or she's my sexual object.
You talking about just on a surface level? You don't need the surface level stuff.
I do not need the surface level. That is not gonna sustain our relationship, because I'll get bored quick. That's all I'm saying. I will get bored quick. Right? It's like that fine wine you save for a special occasion, right?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
So Sydney says, if you don't have a priority on beauty, does it mean you are not big on procreation?
What do you mean? What does that have to do?
So like I think what she's suggesting is that if beauty's not a factor, you're not thinking about having kids. Are you thinking about having kids at this stage in your life still?
Yeah, I told you. I told you that. Listen.
Okay, so how does your current criteria on beauty play into you having kids?
Okay, but beauty is subjective, and when I say subjective, meaning I know what I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want kids. The only reason I would get married is for kids. I can
Kids.
get everything else outside of that. I don't
What's your
need
age cutoff? What's your age cutoff for you having kids?
60.
60. Okay.
60,
And
yeah.
you're 46 right now,
Yeah.
right?
60 is my cutoff, right?
So you have 14 years.
Yeah, that's more than enough time.
All right.
So, and we're not talking no long courtship, right? Because I'm set in my ways. I ain't changing. I'm set. The only thing, like I said, I'm not going into your world. You're coming into mine. Because I really don't care if your parents don't like me. Really don't care if your brother don't like me. I don't live with them. I ain't sleeping with them, right? And if they don't like me, they have to have a good reason because I'm a damn good man, and they really have to have a good reason. And I come from a good family. And if my mother doesn't like you, she'll tell you why she doesn't like you, right? And they're still together. My father has his own judgments, so I know the package that I'm bringing. But the reason I say looks is not a big deal is at my age right now, that's not going to sustain me. It's not something that's going to sustain my relationship with you. You know, I'm going to hang on to my six pack as long as I can, but eventually I will get a little beer belly, hopefully not soon, but it'll happen. I won't be working out as much. I'll be a little slower, right? But she'll know that man in front of her loves her. And I think that's what women need to do. They need to stop looking with their eyes and look with their heart. It's a lot better, clearer picture. They'll make a better decision. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. I understand what you're saying. Like,
You know, because you got to think, I don't need companionship. I can get from a dog. I can hit one every weekend. I can invite a girl over to leave. I can get all that shit. And no matter how old you are, you can still get all that shit, right? Because you'll have the lifestyle that could provide it. Companionship, what is companionship really? A good conversation. I got great friends. I got buddies, man. I got a guy that's a widow that will never get married again. And he's one of the greatest guys to hang out with. And he still gets his side piece, but he'll never do it again. I got friends like that. So to me, companionship is not something that you have to acquire. It's there if you have good friends.
You know,
intimacy, on the other hand, is something different. That's a different type of companionship.
Okay, here we go right here. This is from Tony Page. Married just for kids. Okay, what about companionship?
Well, I just explained it. Like,
yeah,
what about companionship?
Like I just wanted to bring it up because he was explaining it. So
yeah.
Hey Tony, I hope Antoine answered your question. If you need something else answered, you know what I'm saying, feel free to type it in the chat.
Are you talking companionship meaning intimacy, sex?
It might be the case. We'll
you know what I
find
mean?
out. Yeah.
Yeah. If you text it back, if he goes on the, pull it up, I'll answer it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What about this? Another question from Sydney, in relation to the procreation comment that you just answered.
Right.
She's talking about referring to aesthetics, not necessarily genes. So
what my kid would look like?
When you was talking about beauty, yeah, I think you was just looking on the inside. I think as an artist, I think you look at things a whole lot differently than most other people. Would you say?
Oh, man, I know what beauty looks like. Shit, I draw it every day. I know what beauty looks like.
Come on now.
I know what beauty looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I know exactly I know what elegance looked like. I know what being there's a difference between elegance and elegant and looking fine, right? Elegant is a behavior. Looking beautiful and elegance are two different things. They're not the same thing.
Give me some examples of that right there. I like that. Go ahead.
Elegant. This is what elegant is. Elegant is knowing how to pick up something, right? Elegance is knowing how to show your beauty without having to show your whole face. Elegant is how you sit down when you sit down. That everybody notices in the room. You sit down like that, and it's not about crossing your legs. Elegance is being able to wear sweatpants but carry yourself like you're a full-fledged woman in it. Those are elegant traits. Those are it's part of being etiquette, you know? That's one thing people need to understand. People need more etiquette in this damn world because they're so damn nasty. It's like they don't even know what a spoon is for and what a fork is for and what the short one's for, what the long one's for. They just think, oh, we'll just do it all the same. You know what I mean? I never, like I said, I wasn't raised with plastic cups growing up. I didn't even know what that was. A plastic cup. What the hell is that? I didn't know what that was. We always drank with a glass, and my father made sure of that. Right? Plastic is what I got after working out. That was a plastic cup. I was like, well, you guys drink plastic? Oh shit, okay. You know.
So
there's between
elegance. So elegance to you is how you do something.
Yeah, how you carry yourself, how you exude your beauty, how you pick up things, how you move. That's being elegant. That's being
elegant. Elegant is how you I guess communicate your beauty.
Communicate. Yes, how you communicate your beauty.
Yeah. Yeah, the way you do it. Because you could be pretty and have an ugly delivery. So I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, Antoine, you spitting today, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm thinking everybody knows this already. I'm thinking like an idiot up here.
No, man, you're supposed to be up here.
I'm thinking, oh shit, here comes the Oreo jokes.
Yeah. No, man. Look,
that white boy don't know nothing. He needs to visit the hood.
No, man, I got a decent audience that follows my content, that will sit back and give you enough time to get them to buy in. You know what I'm saying? They will pay you enough attention. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like,
if I didn't get any insults, so that's pretty good. Or do I have insults that I'm not seeing?
No, nobody's insulting you. If they insulting you, they might be doing it in their inbox, but it's not in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, man, I got decent people that follow the things that I post. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be in the Accountable Masculinity group, which, hey, shout out to everybody that's been working, you know, and putting content in the group, and, you know, creating good conversations without the argument. I think we're way past the argument.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I said,
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I will not get into a ratchet talk. I ain't getting into that. I'm not getting into that. That's not how I look at black people. Yeah. I don't even know about those black people. Nor do I want to know. I can only try to help them improve, but I don't know about that shit, right? So, like, it's like this. You know, women automatically think, right? They look for the what do they say? The three things: the 6 figures, 6 foot, whatever it is. You know what I mean? 6 figures, 6 foot, and whatever the other one. Yeah. I can't remember. Whatever. But women like tall guys. I'm 5'6". I ain't getting any taller. But I know for a fact looks and height goes out the window when I'm standing on my wallet. I know that for a fact. So I don't have to worry about that area, right? Now people say, oh, but that means you're going to attract a woman for money. And I'm like, what woman wouldn't come for you with money? Every woman, everything you do with a woman deals with money. Like you think you could take her out with what? Pennies? It's all part of it. I don't know I don't know what woman you dating, but there ain't a woman that I can sit in front of that's gonna say, hey, I'll pay. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, go ahead, knock yourself. No, if you ask her out and you want her attention and you want her time, that's gonna cost you money. Now, you should be able to tell the difference if she's just going out for a meal, right? Because you've already vetted her through the conversations.
Now, look, this is where we go back. I like to flashback, right? So you remember last week's conversation about what does a date cost with Antoine on a weekend?
Oh, that was fun. Where's my buddy? Where's my buddy?
Oh, he's tied up today with something else. But so like now that you brought up the date piece, right? Show me what you would do with this elegant woman with $350.
Ooh, that's a lot. Why am I spending that much?
You're such a troll. Like,
No, why am I spending that much?
no, we talked about like a weekend date, right?
Oh, that's a weekend. Okay, you said on $350.
No, look, I don't know how much money you're gonna spend.
Oh,
I have my own
$350 is
budget.
a lot.
Hey,
Am I hitting it?
hey, look,
No, create the scenario. Am I hitting it or not?
I don't know yet. Like, so
Okay.
that's what I'm getting ready to ask the question, right?
Okay.
So last week's conversation was about, like what's the proper amount of money to spend, you know what I'm saying? And getting to know somebody or get closer to them. Because we're talking about people you already have had, you know what I'm saying, a situation with, right?
Oh, so I already had the breakdown of the conversation.
Like last week you were talking about like what would it cost you, and you know what I'm saying, to break the piggy bank, I guess you could say, on
Right.
whatever whatever your dating budget was based off of. It was based off you actually having a, you know what I'm saying, some sort of connection with this person, clearly, right? Because you don't just decide, hey, look, it's first time I met you, you want to go out of town for a week, you know what I'm saying?
That's not happening.
It's not happening. But we talking about somebody you got an established situation with, right?
Yeah, we're talking, if I'm established with you, as we know, I'm only spending that kind of money if we're committed. I'm not spending that kind of money on just getting to know you. That's ridiculous. I work hard for my money, and you ain't worth it yet. You have to earn a dinner. You're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to be able to keep me in a conversation over 2 hours with a dinner. You're gonna have to know how to talk about politics, life in general, and you're gonna have to know your way around a conversation.
Yeah. That's that's very key, man. It's a lot of people. You can't.
Why would I sit down in front of you over dinner when I don't know? My food's gonna get cold asking you questions, right? My wine's gonna get stale because I don't know what to talk to you about. Why would I have a dinner with you on that? I'd rather go out for a nice coffee. And when I say coffee, there's nice places besides Starbucks. I'm talking a coffee place that has good pastries, good ambiance. The lights are dim. We're getting to know one another. And if we feel hungry, we can order cold sandwiches, or we can go get the munchies. I get that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a Starbucks or a coffee bean. All right. That's when I say coffee. Right? Because from coffee, I'm going to meet you early enough from coffee that I can say, hey, would you like to go get something to eat? That's a decision on you. And after coffee, I'm going to know if you're worth having a dinner with. Because you either created a conversation, you either created a hunger over a good conversation like I did. Because eventually I'm going to get hungry and the coffee is going to make my stomach sick.
Yeah. I just asked a question.
That's a fact. You know, and today people say, oh, I would never go out for coffee. Well, then you're not a lady. Because why would you want to go out? That means you're just going out for dinner to eat. And most of these women order food to take home. They don't even eat. They order this big food that they only mince on. Beep, 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 beep. Because they don't want to slobber up in front of you.
You
know damn well you're hungry. And you don't look like you missed a meal. So let's be real. You're hungry. It's okay. I don't
stop acting like it. Antoine said, "Stop acting like
you're hungry." Because I'm hungry. Yeah. I know if I'm hungry, you're hungry.
Yeah, because stop acting like it, right? Go ahead.
Don't order a salad. Go for the calamari. Go for the nice pasta dish. I want to see what you look like when you're chewing. Go for it. Let's go. Let's see if you know how to use a napkin. Let's go. Let me see if you know how to use which fork you're gonna eat your pasta with. Let me see if you pick up the spoon next day to see if you stir. Let me just see how
you're trying to watch the way she moves.
That's right. I want to see. Yeah. I want to see if I can bring this woman home for dinner. Let's go. I want to see the way you. I want to see if you wipe your hands before you pick up your glass, so I don't see no damn fingerprints on it. Let's go. Let's see if you know to pick it up from the stem and not the top of the glass where I can't sip on it. Let's go. You want to go there? That's what dinner is for me.
Yeah.
I want to see how many bites she takes before she says, let me wait and have a conversation with this man. Let me see who finishes first. That's how you know what you have in front of you. That's how you know.
You could tell why she came there, depending on how she eats.
Absolutely. You will see a woman that knows her place eat a hamburger like it's a damn steak. She will take 2 bites, wipe her hands, put it down, make sure she's finished chewing before she grabs a Coke. You know she doesn't eat fast food on the go all the time. You know that right off the bat. You know. Come on now. If you're a man, that's what I look for.
Yeah.
And if her nails are well done, then I know she's taking care of the big stuff. If I see a chip on that nail, yeah, we don't have issues on that.
So if you had to summarize the point in a coffee date in 30 seconds or less, how would you do it?
Wait a minute. Summer, as in,
Like everything you just said, right? You just spoke at length for a few minutes about it, right?
right?
The coffee date in 30 seconds or less, would you agree that it's just basically to observe?
I don't think you can have a coffee date 30 minutes or less. I think a coffee date is like an hour and a half thing.
Yeah, but
I think a coffee date determines if you'll get a second date on both ends. You know what I
mhm.
mean? I think a coffee date will determine if you'll get a second date on both ends, right? Because I know you're only putting your best foot forward. We just met. You're gonna say the things I want to hear. I'd probably do the same with you, right? Because I'm putting my best foot forward. We just met. I'm not that comfortable yet. You know, it's like you want to you should impress the woman. I'm not saying you shouldn't impress the woman. Listen, you're technically you have to. A man's job is to impress the woman. It's not her job to impress you. She impresses you with her beauty and how she dresses. But your job is to show her that you can create the ambiance around her to feel safe and appreciated, right? We have to appreciate women. I think every man should. They're not capable of taking care of themselves if shit hits the fan. And I'm talking real shit. They will look left and right for help. And that's not a bad thing. It's called being a woman. You know? That's all I'm saying. So when you go out for a coffee date, she should check if you open the door for her when you're walking into the coffee shop, right? She should check if you lead the conversation and say, "Okay, what would you like before you order your food?" I mean, these are things a woman should look for, because if he's doing it like that, then you should know, like, okay, he's trying, he's putting his best foot forward, he's seeing the things that I like, he's presenting himself in the best way. I think you're not
Hey,
faking it; you're just being a gentleman.
hey, Antoine,
And her
I
job is
think,
to accept it as a woman, like a woman. Her job is to accept it like a woman, not as entitlement, but accept it like a woman, like she appreciates you making sure her coffee is hot. That's all.
and you're talking about feminine women. That's what you're talking about.
That's all I deal with. That she-male stuff, I don't do that. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'm not doing the she-male thing. Yeah,
yeah,
there's only one man standing up peeing, and that's me. Yeah, you ain't doing that.
yeah. So you talking about a woman that naturally wants to be a woman,
Yeah.
doesn't want to compete with a man, doesn't want
Women can't compete with a man. Come on, man. I hit you with one of these. You ain't waking up. Stop it.
to.
Stop it. You ain't all that pushing you doing. You just one of these. You're done. Just
You
stop it.
want
Just be a woman.
you definitely want somebody that's not going to put you in a space where you feel like you got to physically defend yourself.
I don't think any woman should want to do that. I think a woman is elegant enough. She's gonna back away from a fight. That's not the place of a woman. Her job is to say, "Baby, calm down. He's not worth it." Not go and defend me. What are you thinking? If he pulls out a knife and gets stabbed, who walking away? Surely ain't me. And if you go and act like an ass, you can act like an ass by yourself. Look behind you. I'm not gonna be there. My Uber's already outside.
Hey, Antoine said, "Hey, you better check your attitude. If you
I
disagree with
don't
that,
care.
call
I don't care.
555 Antoine 1-800-555 Antoine." Okay, Antoine said, "Control your gums."
This is where they start to hate me in the chat room.
Not over here. They just gonna listen, man. Like,
They can challenge what I'm saying, but like I said, if you're gonna challenge it with specifics. Don't just challenge it with "I feel like." Challenge it with specifics, because I'm speaking specifics. I'm creating the scenario for you. Where am I wrong? Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm curious.
yeah,
You
like
know.
I think you can only imagine, you know what I'm saying, what you can control in the worst case scenario. Because like that's the thing, and you're looking at it from a threat perspective. Like your job is to eliminate the threat. You have to
Yeah.
always think about the threat. So that's why as a man is you're responsible for creating the atmosphere, and women are supposed to improve whatever you create.
Yeah. You know when they say a man's supposed to take a bullet for a woman? No, he's supposed to take a bullet for his wife and his child.
Yeah, like let me give you another something else that kind of goes
That's a
along that
different
line.
story.
Right. That's like I saw one post one day. It said This one lady like was talking about men are supposed to be providers. Like, and I said specifically in response, I'm like, only husbands and fathers are providers.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just like in between. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to evaluate what provision is during the dating phase. You're not gonna get that in, you know what I'm saying,
Why would
early
you?
on. Why would you get that in? And like there's a lot of people that distort it from both the man and the woman's perspective. You got the guy that'll spend a whole bunch of money to get, you know what I'm saying,
That's
some
ridiculous.
sort of attention,
That's
like
ridiculous.
those, you know what I'm saying, to get some sort of affection out of a woman, whether it be sexual or, you know, like some level of intimacy that they feel like is tied to their money. You know what I'm saying? Their money only.
That's
But
ridiculous.
you're only going to attract a certain type of person.
Yeah, but why? What? I mean, Jesus, are you that desperate for sex that you have to spend such money to get it? Like,
They, man, they exist. They do.
I know. No, listen. Hey, listen. There's a lot of women out there that run game. I get it. I mean, they can't run the game here because I see it a mile away. But I mean, I just when women say a man's supposed to provide, I wish a woman would come on and tell me what that means exactly. Because I guess,
Yeah, especially if you're not in a marriage. Like when a
yeah,
man is
like when you say a man's
what
supposed
was
to, like, why
what
would I
is
pay your cell phone? Why would I pay my wife's cell phone bill? Why would I do that? I'm just curious. So what you're saying is you can't afford your own upkeep, right? Because obviously, if I'm supposed to take over all those bills, you were struggling before paying it. Is that? I just want to know what that means exactly. Call me stupid, but I want to know when people say that because if the average man makes 47,000 a year, that means she ain't making much either. So you're coming together at 80,000, 85, maybe clocking in 100 together. How does that work where he's supposed to pay for everything? If rent is $2,000 for a 2 bedroom or maybe more, like how and a car payment and food and your cell phone bill, which let's just be honest is about 100 and something dollars, and obviously you're on credit cards or something.
especially if you don't have an additional skill that you can make money off of. If you got
Yeah,
to talk like 9 to 5 and you got to clock in for somebody, that's that's a completely different, you know what I'm saying, way
exactly.
of life.
I just want somebody to explain that to me. I want a woman actually to explain that to me because a lot of them talk shit like that. You know, like he's got to. And you know what? Another thing women say is, and I'm not even harping on the women because I don't. I'll get on to the men in a second. But you know when a woman says to me, a man's got to match her income, I make sure I look at how that woman looks because if she's some fat, ugly looking thing, ain't no man want to match that income. Ain't no man want to match that income. And let me tell you something. If you're a fat and ugly thing and a man's got to match $80,000, you need to see what comes out of an $80,000 man's car and then see do you look like that. How about
Mm,
that? Let's that. You know what I mean?
mm,
Let's be realistic to that. Now
mm.
a man that makes $47,000 a year or whatever the average income is, let's be real, and he says, I want a dime. I just need to know what dime is worth 47,000 that you know, because I don't know one that's worth 47. You may get them young and trick them. That happens, but any woman that's got herself together and knows that she's a dime and probably making $45,000 a year, I can assure you, she knows her worth. That's all I'm saying. So a man needs to know his place too and where he fits in. Didn't you always say you get what you can afford?
Yep.
I know you didn't mean it in the way I'm saying it, but I'm
No,
saying
I mean it in every way
okay. So
because I say it in general because like the only people that complain are people that can't get what they want, can't accept what they qualify for, or they just and all of that amounts to just being entitled.
right,
You can
that's
only
what it's
have what you can afford. You can only live where you can afford. You can only eat what you can afford. So everything. So if you have complaints and desires above the actual thing that you qualify for, you need to go to therapy.
right,
You
right,
need because you have a hard time accepting. You know what I'm saying? What you earned,
right,
and if you didn't do anything on yourself to make yourself more appealing or more desirable, then you don't deserve better than what you've already worked for yourself.
right. You have to be realistic. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You
I
get
don't know.
graded up.
Didn't I say
You
I'm altering myself, Vic? Didn't I tell you I'm opening the doors a little bit more wider now because of
you
my
have
age?
to.
I
Yeah,
have to.
if you want the same, if in today you want the same thing that you wanted in 2021, today, 3 years has gone past, the same thing you required in 21, it may not be the same thing you require in
I
24.
don't deserve it.
You
First of
don't
all,
deserve
I
it.
wouldn't want. First of all, I wouldn't want to go for some, young hot intellectual thing. I'm not. I mean, there's nothing that no. What conversation am I going to have with a freaking 20-year-old or 25-year-old? What conversation is she going to entertain my thoughts with?
You know, what do you think about that in reverse, right? What do you think about older women dating younger men, like that's 20 years younger than them?
What's wrong with that? Depending on where that man is in life, but I think that older woman should say, "Listen," and make it clear to him, "I'm not going to have kids. If that's your intention, if that's your intention, I'm not the woman. I'll have fun with you. It's
What if
great."
she wants kids?
What? How old are we talking then?
She's 39 and the,
And
the
he's what,
younger man
20?
is the younger man is 22.
Well, she should know common sense should tell her he's only with her for sex. He ain't gonna end up with it.
What if she wants him for sex and a baby?
That's even that's what to end up with. Come on, that's selfish and that's foolishness, and you get what you deserve in that part. Then you're saying you want to be a baby mama. That's just that tells me right there what type of woman you are to the next man. That tells
Yeah.
the next man what type of woman you are. That tells the next guy. That's what I don't understand why they don't understand it. If I was a woman and I had kids or kid, buddy, I would be on top of my game in every way, shape, or form. I would have the body that does not look like I have a kid. I would make sure I smell good at all times. If I don't have the looks department, I got the body department. I would make sure I carry myself well. I would never go out not looking presentable because I'm looking for a man and I want a man. I would put my best foot forward because I already know I got something working against me. Yes, he's a blessing in my life for me, but he isn't a blessing for anybody coming in.
I told somebody this the other day. I was like, what leverage does another man's kids give a man? Because it's not because like the old circular conversation is that no man wants to take care of somebody else's kids.
No, unless he's
No
dead.
man, no man wants to be responsible for children without the ability to correct the children. You know what I'm saying? That's why you always talk about, oh, he got to be dead. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
cool.
because
He
I
just
got
got to
more to
be dead.
lose. I got more to
Yeah.
lose. I got more to lose in my life with that kid telling the law something against me.
All
I'm
day. Yeah, because
I'm coming in. I'm coming in with risk factor, right? It just takes one. It just takes her daughter to tell the cops I looked at her funny, right?
yeah,
Because
especially if you got a daughter.
mommy left to go to work early in the morning, and I got up and my robe accidentally opened while I was getting out of the bathroom, and she was coming up the stairs. That goes as flashing, right? And I made the mistake. I thought it was closed. It wasn't closed. I got out of the bedroom. I already thought she went to school, and here I am, right?
Mhm.
So I'm coming in with risk. These are scenarios that could happen. Am I creating it? No, but they could happen. But that kid will never owe me respect because I'm not his dad. He'll only owe me respect for the roof I put over his head. That's all I'm
Mhm.
saying. So I would, if I was a woman with kids, I would really think of these things when dating. And I think a woman with kids should date, but they should date responsibly, and they should date in a sense that knowing what they want on a date. They don't go out for dinners, don't go out. You're dating for a man, a purpose. You're not dating just to have dinner over a conversation. That's wasting your time. You have a child at home. You're paying for a babysitter. Women that with children should date with a purpose more than women that are not with kids. Those are two different types of dating.
So I wrote this question earlier today. Well, the statement rather. Um, check it out and tell me what you think about it. Based on what you just said, is a great segue.
A stepfather or a stepmother should be a cycle breaker if they take on the responsibility. What
How
do
do
you
you
mean?
inter- okay. Okay, so like when you come in and like when you create the space for you know um a woman with kids,
Right.
like they already had a, like you said, a delicate situation. You assuming that they had a delicate situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they might have been deceived, somebody made a mistake, like you were saying before, right?
Right.
You have this responsibility that you add into the relationship dynamic, because liking the woman and then liking the kids and something else is something else, right? Something that you'd have to really work on, because the kids got to buy into you by themselves. She can't make them kids like you, and you can't make the kids like you, right?
Yeah.
but but when you come into this situation, you're
Well, wait.
supposed to be,
Why would I continue doing that though? The barrier is already put up.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like we're talking about, like, under the right circumstances, like if the right woman is involved, right?
Yeah, but her kids
And
don't like you.
but the kids don't like you, right? How do you handle that? And if the kids do like you and they got problems and traumas that come with that, because it's not just the parent that comes with the trauma, right? It's the kids that had it too. Because if the parent has it, the children have it.
Yeah,
So
but
how do
why?
you
Why
but
would
like, if you I get what I'm saying is this: once you inherit everything, you don't see everything until something triggers it, right? How do you
no?
help break the cycles?
I'm trying to figure out why would I see. What I'm trying to figure out is why would I put myself in a situation like that?
What if we're talking about the things that you can't see? Like, let's say something comes up you don't have any idea about, because you can't ask every question and get every answer. Because sometimes you don't know every answer. Sometimes you don't know
Okay.
every question.
Right.
So something comes up that is present in the relationship, but you don't know what's triggering it. And then so you make note of it, because there's one occurrence, two occurrence. Then when you get a pattern, you're like, hey, this is a problem. You know what I'm saying? And you bring up the problem and you say, this is how we fix it as the leader in the
Right.
relationship.
Right.
You really have to be a whole lot more assertive. Would you say you have to be a lot more assertive as a stepfather than you would if the kids, you know what I'm saying, didn't come from you? I mean, came from you?
You see, that's
Because like, because you see what I'm saying? Like, you got behaviors in a child from their father that's not present anymore.
right.
Because
But
in your
I need to put myself in the safest situation, bro,
yeah,
because the safest situation is right. I'm not gonna be that kid. One day is gonna grow up and be stronger than me, taller than me, and do all this shit to me. So I want to put myself in the most secure situation as possible.
yeah.
And I would rather break up with her and explain the situation why it's over and leave it at that. I can't jeopardize my situation because she can't get her son in order, and neither can I. I don't think a man should put himself in this situation. We're talking the rest of your life. And if you think to the future, I ain't gonna be 46 forever.
So I like what you're saying, because you're putting the onus of the parent into play in their obligation to their child. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, when I made this post, I wasn't saying in effect that you had to come in and fix it. But I thought about it intimately enough to ask the question, because I don't believe that you have to fix her kids if that's the thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What you should do is represent enough stability for her to correct her own kids. Would you say that?
Say that again?
You should provide enough stability and security in a relationship for
Right.
her to deal with her kids. Is that what? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Your job is
Because
to
like,
do that.
yeah, like, because
Your job is to do that. Your
yeah,
job is to do that. Your job is to say, listen, see, you can say, listen, if let's just say you're in that scenario and she has a child and the child is being unruly, you come in and you can't calm the child down, and you're scared to touch the child. I'm just saying, if you're in that situation, you're scared to touch the child, you're scared to discipline the child. You have to give her the ultimatum. You have to say, listen, I created this home for you and your child, and I love it. I love you, and I love your child. But your child's at a stage where he's unruly now. Okay? There has to come a chance. There has to come a point where it's like, we're not. Are we saying we're married or not married? Because I want to create the scenario. Vic, are we saying married or not? Okay, if we're saying married, let's say we're saying. Well, first of all,
yeah,
let's
we're talking married. I know you're not doing.
Okay, let's do the married one, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Let's if I was put an age on the child where they become unruly, let's put 16. All right, I'm already in it. The kid's 16. Is that fair? Okay, so let's say I'm already in it. The kid's 16. This is how I'm approaching it. So listen, your son's at an age, and I'm at an age where I'm not doing this. I did this already. My time is coming past, and I'm telling you, these are the things that are going down, right? And I can't control the situation no more unless I use brute strength, and I ain't using brute strength. And if I can't do it, I surely have enough money to pay 2 goons to do it, right? Let's be real, because I cannot fight your son. He's whatever age and whatever size. And I'm telling you, this is our relationship is working, but your son's an issue. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to pick on how you want to handle this, but you're gonna have to settle it. I'm putting it in your hands. I'm putting it in your hands, because if I have to put it in my hands, we're done, and he's gonna get disciplined some other way.
I think what you're saying still falls within the statement right there, like that right there. The act of you putting a boundary up, saying what you will and won't tolerate, is you initiating the breaking of the cycle. So
right,
which goes hand in hand with Jessica's comment. I don't know why I just says Facebook user. I think you know what it is. The people that's in my Facebook group, when they comment, it doesn't show up here on this screen.
So I didn't even know about that. Oh, that's so. What does that say?
Okay. It says, I think a step parent, being the cycle breaker, is more on the half of the person choosing their partner. So I'm going to interpret that as you choosing to be a stepfather.
Okay?
Right. You can't break a cycle that you're in. If you're in the cycle, there's just no way you could. It's like a doctor knowing that they got a certain type of ailment that requires operation. The doctor can't operate on himself. If you come from a broken home, what cycle are you breaking if you don't plan on staying? Yeah. So
no, that's true.
And I think all of that plays back into that leadership dynamic.
Right.
Because if you don't have any leadership skills, you're gonna suck as a stepfather.
Yeah.
You're gonna suck. You're not gonna be successful in very many things that you do as a man if you don't have leadership skills. Yeah, sure, you can go to work, punch the clock, come home, pay bills, but that's a big difference between just being responsible for something and then just leading it. One is management, one is authority and control. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you come in with just a paycheck, you're gonna get led by the woman that you with. If all you got is a paycheck, she gonna know what to do with your paycheck more than you will.
But like I said, though, I wanted to understand, like, women need to understand the man he's taking a risk. He's taking a risk.
Well, that's true.
He's taking the man, any stepfather is going into the relationship with taking a risk. The law is not going to believe you over her child. It's not going to happen unless there's murder involved and he did it. But that's the only way. Your word is.
How long do you have to vet women with kids?
I would say at least a year. A good solid year gives you time. And I'm talking about you're hanging out with them, you're staying over, they're coming to your place. I'm talking then after 6 months, you move in together. Now, this is a girl you want to marry. So I'm talking after 6 months, okay, let's move in. Let's see how we operate as a family. Because in those months, you're going to see how this kid is operating, how he lives, how he keeps his room, how he reacts to you telling him, clean up this room, how he sits at dinner. Is he home on time for dinner? Does he respect your authority? Does he move his bike when you told him to move the bike? Is he involved in sports? How's he doing in school? You're involved in this kid's life for 6 more months. Besides the 6 months, you already got to know him. Because in the first 3 months, it's the honeymoon stage. You're going things, you're having fun, you're chit chatting, woo. You know, you're going out for dinner, Chuck E. Cheese, doing all that good stuff, squeezing the cheeks and having fun. But then after that, when the honeymoon stage is over, and he sees you and mom getting into it because I don't know something happened and you didn't like it, and you voiced your opinion to his mom, how's he going to react to that? What's he going to say? These are things you got to think about, man. Is he going to pop you one? He's going to say, hey, you better not close your eyes at night or some shit. You don't know. And then you have to really think about, what about if he tells daddy? I'm just saying. What about if he tells daddy?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Man, whew.
I get it. There's a lot of things that can happen, you know.
There's a lot of things that's why a man takes a risk dating a baby mama. We take a risk. Now, if she's the right one, no risk taken. Thank God it worked out. Live a happy life. Like I said, I'm willing to do it. I'm like opening the avenues of doors, saying like, you know what? Unless maybe he's dead. I don't know. I would want a relationship with the guy.
So,
and I would ask him straight up, how do you feel about me dating your wife, your ex-wife, or your girl? I need to know, because I don't want no jealousy between you and me, because you know I'm hitting it at night.
Go ahead and wrap the show up right here, Antoine. Go ahead and give us the Ask Antoine at 800-555 Antoine. Go ahead and give us Antoine's survival guide and instructions on if single parents should date.
I think single parents should date. There's nothing wrong with it. But as a single parent, I think you should make sure you have your life together. Make sure your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. I think that don't break your schedule for a man or a woman. Your schedule is your schedule because it's been working, and the 2 hours you give that person is the 2 hours you can afford to give that person your undivided attention, because you know your child is taken care of. He's in a place where he's safe, and you don't have to worry about him. So you can be the woman you need to be in front of the man you're dating, and vice versa. If the man has a child, you know your child is with the mother. Everything is good. She's not going to blow up your phone unless it's an emergency, and everything is good. And those 2 hours you're spending with the woman in front of you is her 2 hours. And you need to be like that. That's the only way you can date as a single parent. Because other than that, it's just chaos. And another thing, don't ask the man or don't ask the woman for something you need for your child or something, and don't express you're having a hard time paying your bill. That's not her business. You're inviting this woman into your life. She needs to know what she's coming into, but you don't have to be that idiot that you're not handling your business. You shouldn't be in a situation. If you can't handle your business as a single parent, you shouldn't be dating, because you're not in the right frame of mind and you won't be able to give that person the attention they need. That's it. But should they date? Absolutely, man. You want to get your rocks off. Just saying, you know.
That was Antoine's dating survival guide for single parents. You know,
it's just my opinion. That's what I think. Okay.
Just his opinion. Hey, you got some hot feedback tonight, Antoine.
I like it. I appreciate that, though. At least I wasn't.
Yeah, man. Look, man, like I think you do the right thing for the most part. I don't have a problem with what you say at all. I think you need. I think the points that you make are rational and realistic. I don't think that you're asking for a whole lot. You're just asking people to be responsible by their kids so you could take them seriously.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm in that position now where I'm not even, my views on single mothers is nothing like it used to be before. Couldn't stand them before.
Yeah. And was that mostly because of the information that you was receiving?
No, that's mostly because I'm asking myself, why the beautiful woman like yourself put yourself in that damn situation? And why would you do that? 17 forms of contraceptives. You couldn't find one that worked? Like, come on. Like, right. And even if you want to have that guy's kid, what we have a problem with in the black community? Black women don't get married. Black women have babies. Why don't you get married? He's good enough to spread it for, but he's not good enough to go down the aisle with? Like, why? Why? It only makes you look better when you've done it and it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
It looks better. It's great. Oh, man, I'm sorry you got divorced. Yeah, it just didn't work out. We were together and I loved him. He loved me, but he cheated. I don't even blame you. Good for you. Break that marriage up. I'm with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on
But
out of there.
I grew apart and all that sort of BS. I don't believe in any of that.
Yeah. I can understand that. Like you got to have some boundaries, man.
I remember, as a man, if you're dating anybody, a single parent, you don't vet the man. You vet the man that he was married to or she was married to. You find out that's your main information you need, because that's the guy that's gonna come after you.
He gonna want. Like he gonna be the one to tell the truth, though.
Yeah,
You're
he's
right.
the one coming after you. He's the one that the kid's gonna complain to. What kind of man are you dealing with, or what kind of woman are you dealing with that's in the back end? You
Yep.
need to get, and if they don't have a good relationship, you need to be honest and find out why. This is important stuff, man.
It's very honest. These are the things that you consider. But
Yes.
but
You already like her. You already know you like her, but you need to find out where she came from. And if you hear the man's in jail, jail is never a good thing. He's in jail. That means it's time to bounce, because he's gonna get out, and when he gets out, he's gonna want what was his.
The risk is always there. So
always there, man. We're as a single, and we're coming into a single parent household. The risk is on us. It's on the person. Rather it be a man or a woman, the risk is on the woman going into a man's life with a kid. The risk is on the man going into a woman's life with the kid. There's a risk. Are you willing to take the risk? And then what you want to do is you want to minimize that risk. You need to vet the person, but not the person that's in front of you. The person they were married to or seeing or involved with, that produced that child with. That's what you need to do.
Well, Antoine has hit us with all of the game that we can take for the night. And hey, I'm glad you come over. I'm glad you like to talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot to share.
I gotta admit, you always got some good topics. I always could get involved with.
Hey, man, that's what I do, man. That's what I do, man.
You got good topics. I gotta.
Hey, some people stir the pot. You know what I'm saying? I make gumbo.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I gotta keep that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
make sure you subscribe on all platforms and hit the like button and follow. Please leave your feedback in the comments. Make sure you hit up the super chat, leave a donation to support the platform. Yo chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Yo chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Go cop the shirt, visit the merch store, shop with Accountable Masculinity, and support the platform. Men have hope.